Good evening. You're watching the News at 6 with me, Shan Russell. The News at 6 is all about the biggest developing stories of the day, and we'll be filling you in them over the next half hour. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. In the wake of the Dadri lynching incident, President Pranab Mukherjee appeals for tolerance, says we can't allow core values of our civilization to be wasted. A day after poet Ashok Vajpayee also returns his Scythe Academy Award, peace marches held in Bisara village. Home Secretary briefs the Prime Minister's office about the law and order situation there. The Lok Sabha Speaker writes to all MPs, appeals to them to maintain House decorum during sessions, cautions against growing negative perception about image of Parliament and parliamentarians. Rahul Gandhi addresses election rally in Bihar's Sheikhpura district, targets Prime Minister Modi on the failure to keep up his poll promises. And aid agency Medicines Sans Frontiers demands war crimes investigation into the Kunduz airstrikes. Organization says it doesn't trust investigations by US agencies or NATO. Our top story this evening, President Pranab Mukherjee today made an appeal for tolerance just days after a man was lynched in a village in Uttar Pradesh over rumours that he stored and consumed beef. The incident in Dadri has sparked outrage across the country and raised the debate about religious tolerance.
President Pranab Mukherjee has said the core values of diversity, tolerance and plurality of Indian civilization must always be preserved. Saying that these values must not be allowed to be wasted, the President said they will keep our democracy firm.
These core civilizational values keep us together over the centuries. Many ancient civilizations have collapsed. But despite aggression after aggression, long foreign rules, the Indian society, Indian civilization has survived because of its core civilizational values and adherence to it. And we must keep that in mind. And if we keep that in mind, nothing can prevent our democracy to move on.
The President's remarks come in the wake of the lynching of a 50-year-old man in Dadri over rumours that he stored and consumed beef. The incident has sparked outrage across the country. Even Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari had said last week that the state must ensure the right to life to every citizen of the country, irrespective of their religion.
संविधान में नागरिक के लिए सबसे जरूरी चीज क्या है? अंग्रेजी में कहते हैं आर्टिकल 21, राइट टू लाइफ, जिंदा रहने का हक। बगैर सुरक्षा के कुछ और नहीं हो सकता है। अगर सुरक्षा नहीं है तो विकास नहीं हो सकता है, सुरक्षा नहीं है तो तरक्की नहीं हो सकती है, सुरक्षा नहीं है तो हम आगे की दुनिया के ख्वाब नहीं देख सकते।
The Dadri incident has been condemned across the country. Opposition parties have questioned what they say is the Prime Minister's silence on the issue. The Home Ministry briefed the PMO on Wednesday after receiving a report from the UP government. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
And Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh today said that the strongest possible action will be taken against the culprits in the Dadri lynching incident. His statement came on a day when the Home Secretary briefed the Prime Minister's office about the law and order situation in the village. In a related incident, the local police turned away Vishwa Hindu Parishad leader Swadvi Prachi from the area.
A day after getting the state government's report on the Dadri incident, the Home Secretary on Wednesday briefed the Prime Minister's office on the law and order situation.
चाहे स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हो तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हो, मैं समझता हूं कि कहीं यदि कोई भी कम्युनल टेंशन को फैलाने की कोशिश करता है अथवा ऐसी कोई कम्युनल प्रॉब्लम यदि क्रिएट करता है अथवा किसी भी प्रकार का कोई क्राइम यदि वो करता है तो उसके खिलाफ तो सख्त कार्रवाई होनी ही चाहिए, उसे टॉलरेट नहीं किया जाना चाहिए।
According to media reports, the Uttar Pradesh police filed an FIR on charges of attempt to murder and rioting, but not murder. The state government said 8 of the 10 accused have been arrested, but its report makes no mention of beef consumption or cow slaughter.
आज हमारे देश में ये हालत है कि कोई किसी मंदिर में जाकर के उसके लाउडस्पीकर का इस्तेमाल कर सकता है, एक आरोप लगा सकता है कि फलाने के घर में गांव का मांस है, किसी को पूछने की जांचने की जरूरत नहीं है, लोग आकर के उन लोगों को बाहर घसीट करके उनकी निर्मम हत्या कर सकते हैं। असली मुद्दा ये है और ऐसा करने वाले और उनको उकसाने वालों को सख्त से सख्त सजा मिलनी चाहिए।
Meanwhile, peace marches were held in Bisara village, where the victim Ikhlaq was lynched over rumors of alleged beef consumption. His son Danish was shifted from the ICU and has started communicating with family members.
मुझे शिकायत है अपने प्रधानमंत्री से, वो मेरे भी प्रधानमंत्री हैं और उन्होंने संविधान पर शपथ ली है और उन्होंने 15 अगस्त को बीते वर्ष मॉरेटोरियम की बात कही थी। किस तरह के मुद्दों पर मॉरेटोरियम लगना चाहिए, मेरी शिकायत उनसे है। कहाँ ले जा रहे हैं हम अपने मुल्क को? क्या रहन सहन खान पान के मुद्दों पर ही विमर्श होगा?
These so-called cheap political leaders with continued airy silence by the Prime Minister are dividing the very idea of India. They are decrying and denying the diversity of India, and they are attacking the very soul of India.
The Home Minister, the Finance Minister, they both have commented on it. The party time and again has commented on it. There is already more than what is required to be done from the party is being done. At the same time, the PM is a sensitive person. He is seized with the matter. Do not judge him by what he writes or doesn't write on social media.
The administration also stepped up efforts to keep out the leaders of various outfits. Officials also said that prohibitory orders are still in force. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, poet Ashok Vajpayee has returned his Scythe Academy Award in protest against what he termed the unmaking of India. He said his decision is to back author Nayanthara Sehgal, who returned the prestigious literary award on Tuesday. Vajpayee quoted from a speech of Vice President Muhammad Ahmed Ansari to speak in favour of the right to dissent in a democracy. He also expressed disappointment at the silence of the Sahitya Academy, the National Academy of Letters comprising writers. He said that the literary body failed to rise to the occasion and respect its autonomy.
Little hurt groups, hurt feeling groups, etc., are feeling encouraged by the inaction of the state. A rumor about a young man having beef in his house and he's murdered. I mean, there is a right to life. You cannot do this. And the Prime Minister, who's so loquacious, keeps on speaking about all kinds of issues, keeps quiet.
Now, the Cabinet today approved protocols amending tax treaties with Israel and Vietnam to share information about black money. With this decision, the government hopes to avoid double taxation and tax evasion. The centre has also approved the setting up of 3 new aims in Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh and West Bengal. A World Bank-assisted project worth over 2,000 crore rupees was also approved to help farmers get more access to irrigation facilities. It will be implemented at the national level as well in 9 states like Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Telangana, which have seen a rising number of farmer suicides. In another key decision, the government approved a National War Memorial and Museum at the iconic India Gate in Delhi. The cost of the project is estimated to be around 500 crore rupees.
This is a continuation of our fight to curb the menace of black money and also to bring back all the misuse or money that has gone out of the country through misuse of double taxation agreements, if any.
Project cost of the National War Memorial, and is there a estimated deadline for this project to be completed?
Yes, the cost of the project is 500 crores sanctioned by the government and the time period for 5 years.
Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan has written a letter to all MPs appealing them to maintain decorum of the House during the sessions. In a letter, the Speaker said that perhaps a negative perception is gaining ground about the image of the Parliament and the parliamentarians. Appealing to the MPs to change this perception, the Speaker suggested to avoid frequent protests, flashing placards and disruptions. She in fact urged all members to showcase the democratic values India is known for across the world. Time for a very short break. On the other side, Akbaruddin Owaisi faces charges for, in fact, arrest for his alleged provocative speech at a rally in Bihar. More on that on the other side.
The poll juggernaut rolls out in Bihar. Modi's NDA takes on Nitish's Grand Alliance. Who will win this most important election battle since 2014? Watch Verdict 2015, Monday through Saturday on Rajya Sabha television. Get live Rajya Sabha session. News, views, reports and analysis you can trust on social media. Subscribe, follow, like Rajya Sabha Television.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now, adding to the flood of poll rhetoric today in Bihar was Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi. Rahul addressed a rally in the Sheikhpura district of Bihar, where he launched a scathing attack on Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
एक साल पहले मोदी जी आपके पास आए और उन्होंने आपसे बहुत वायदे किए थे। आपको याद होगा, लोकसभा के चुनाव से पहले उन्होंने कहा कि हिंदुस्तान के बाहर बहुत सारा काला धन है, उस काले धन को वापस लाऊंगा और हर गरीब व्यक्ति, हर हिंदुस्तान के व्यक्ति के बैंक अकाउंट में मैं 15 लाख रुपए डालूंगा। ये उनका वायदा था। मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछना चाहता हूं, इस मीटिंग में कोई ऐसा व्यक्ति है जिसके बैंक अकाउंट में 15 लाख रुपए मोदी जी ने डाले?
Addressing a rally in Sheikhpura district of Bihar, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi targeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi on failing to keep his election promises. According to him, the Modi government is not bothered about the poor people.
बेरोजगारी की बात होती है, देश को आगे बढ़ाने की बात होती है, तो यहां जो युवा आया है उससे बात नहीं करेंगे, किसान से बात नहीं करेंगे, मजदूर से बात नहीं करेंगे। किससे बात करेंगे? पूंजीपति से बात करेंगे। जिसको दर्द हो रहा है उसकी बात नहीं सुनेंगे, उसको सिर्फ अपने मन की बात बताएंगे।
The 30-minute long speech also included trademark taunts about the Prime Minister's foreign visits.
आप देख लो, मोदी जी की जितनी भी फोटो आपको दिखाई देंगी, उसमें आपको फटे कपड़े वाला कोई नहीं दिखाई देगा। उसमें आपको बड़े बड़े उद्योगपति दिखाई देंगे, बड़े बड़े ब्यूरोक्रेट दिखाई देंगे, अमेरिका से अलग अलग लोग दिखाई देंगे, फेसबुक का कोई दिखाई देगा, इंस्टाग्राम का कोई दिखाई देगा, गूगल का, यूट्यूब का दिखाई देगा, मगर हिंदुस्तान का किसान, हिंदुस्तान का मजदूर, हिंदुस्तान का गरीब, हिंदुस्तान का कमजोर नहीं दिखाई देगा।
Drawing a comparison between Modi and Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, he said Nitish is a leader of the masses and expressed confidence that the Grand Alliance will win under him.
A belligerent Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi fired yet another salvo at the BJP and rigged up the Sood Boot ki jibe. Giving pep talk to the party workers, Rahul Gandhi tried to drive home the point that the Grand Alliance was pro-farmer and pro-poor, and if it formed the government in Bihar, then the voices of the poor and the weak would be heard. Reporting from Rohtas, with camera person Sudhanshu, I am Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Now, AIMIM's Telangana lawmaker Akbaruddin Owaisi faces arrest for his alleged provocative remarks at an election rally last week in Bihar. At the rally, he also allegedly made derogatory remarks about BJP leaders, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The local police, which booked Owaisi under various sections of the IPC, was ordered to arrest him. Owaisi's party is contesting 6 of the 20 seats in the Simanchal region that has a substantial Muslim population.
माननीय विधायक अकबरुद्दीन ओवैसी साहब के द्वारा एक जनसभा किया गया था। जनसभा में अपने भाषण के दौरान उनके द्वारा कुछ आपत्तिजनक शब्दों का इस्तेमाल किया गया था। ये आरोप कोचाधामन विधानसभा क्षेत्र के द्वारा एक प्राथमिकी दर्ज कराया गया और उसके आधार पर प्राथमिकी दर्ज किया गया है। उसमें अनुसंधान के क्रम में उनके विरुद्ध लगाए गए आरोप सही पाए गए हैं और अगली कार्रवाई करने के लिए उनकी गिरफ्तारी की कार्रवाई भी होगी।
Amid tight security, the West Bengal Election Commission held counting for the rural polls in the Siliguri-Kuma Parishad area. Till reports last came in, Left Front has won 17 out of the total 35 seats in the panchayats and civic bodies spread across the state. Ruling Trinamool Congress has managed to win only 7 seats, 11 seats went to independents. The counting took place a day after Shyant Upadhyay resigned from the post of West Bengal Election Commissioner after he was publicly threatened by the TMC leadership to announce the dates for counting votes for the civil bodies election. Time now to take a look at other national news and updates nationwide. The third round of the talks to end the FTI dialogue saw no breakthrough. FTI students have been protesting over 100 days now against the appointment of actor Gajendra Chauhan as the institute's chairman. The students' representatives and the Information and Broadcasting Ministry will resume talks on Saturday in Mumbai. Jammu and Kashmir Assembly Speaker has revoked the suspension of 2 National Conference MLAs today. He had suspended 4 NC members on Tuesday. The suspension prompted National Conference to boycott the ongoing session. Former Chief Minister Omar Abdullah said that the party will continue protest till the suspension of all 4 members is revoked. Delhi's former Law Minister Somnath Bharti was granted bail by a Delhi court in a domestic violence and attempt to murder case. The court asked him to file a 1 lakh rupee personal bond for the bail. He's been also directed not to leave the country without prior permission and join the probe as and when summoned. The CBI questioned Trinamool Congress MP Tapas Pal in connection with his alleged involvement in the Rose Valley and the Sarda Ponzi scams. The MP has served as a director of one of the group's firms. CBI had raided his South Kolkata residence in March regarding his association with Rose Valley. Well, time for us to take a very quick break. On the other side, all the international news. After the United States admits a mistake in the Kunduz hospital bombing, authorities seek a war crime probe. More on that on the other side.
Tales that inspire, stories of social change. A salute to diversity, promoting public discourse. Events that motivate, inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries every Friday at 10:30 p.m., Saturday 12:30 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m.
Tradition dating back centuries. A cultural heritage that inspires and warms at once. Magic that awes. Rajya Sabha television brings you events that embrace the wonders of India's classical arts. Conversations with the biggest names in the culture and music. Rajya Sabha television, democracy at work.
सरकार और मदेशियों के बीच बातचीत, क्या निकलेगा कोई रास्ता? क्यों कर रहे हैं प्रचंड चीन का रुख? देखिए पहली खबर, नेपाल के बदलेंगे हालात शाम 7 बजे।
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. And now some international news. And unsatisfied with the internal inquiries on the Kunduz hospital bombings, the aid agency Médecins Sans Frontières has demanded a war crime probe into the incident. The head of MSF said that they did not trust investigations by the US military, State Department and NATO. This comes a day after the US military accepted responsibility for the bombings that killed 22 people.
The head of the international aid group, Doctors Without Borders, has demanded an independent war crimes probe into the Kunduz hospital bombing. The organization says it was an attack on the Geneva Convention. At least 22 people were killed in US airstrikes on the hospital.
Location of this hospital was well known, was well communicated to all parties, like we do in a conflict. The opposition forces, including in the coalition forces and the Afghan forces. We've given the coordinates. It's a relatively big hospital that is clearly visible and known to everybody. So a precise attack on this big hospital, if not proven differently, leads us to a war crime.
Several inquiries have already been ordered by the US Department of Justice, the Pentagon, NATO and an American Afghan team. The US military took responsibility for the airstrike, saying it was a mishap.
To be clear, the decision to provide aerial fires was a US decision made within the US chain of command. A hospital was mistakenly struck. We would never intentionally target a protected medical facility.
The President also has the expectation that steps will be taken to try to prevent this kind of thing from happening again. And I also understand from General Campbell's testimony today that he has already tasked his team to conduct a review.
The International Humanitarian Fact-Finding Commission, called by MSF, is an independent mechanism created under an international law, but it has never been used before. According to its provisions, an inquiry needs the specific endorsement of parties to the conflict. However, neither the US nor Afghanistan is a signatory of it, so they would have to issue separate declarations of consent. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time now to take a look at all the other international news stories in Global Buzz. Responding to the hundreds of migrants' deaths at sea, the EU is beginning a new operation to intercept boats that smuggle migrants. The mission aims to identify, capture and destroy vessels used by human traffickers across the sea. Hundreds of Palestinians clashed with Israeli soldiers across the West Bank after the Israeli military demolished the homes of two alleged militants. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon voiced alarm at the incident. The Israeli government has barred Palestinians from entering Old Jerusalem as escalating violence threatens to turn it into a full-scale uprising in the region. US authorities have charged a former United Nations General Assembly President John Ash with accepting bribes from a Chinese billionaire. Ash is alleged to have helped a real estate mogul, Lap Seng, gain government contracts after accepting $1.3 million. China sent Jilin-1, its first commercial-use remote sensing satellite constellation, into orbit after a successful launch today. Jilin-1, named after China's northeast satellite industry province, will focus on providing images to commercial clients, help with harvest assessment, geological disaster prevention and resource surveys. Time now for all the sports action in Sports Beat. The Indian men's hockey team levelled the 4-match series 1-1, beating host New Zealand 3-1 in the second match. Ramandeep Singh and Nikin Timaya and Lalit Upadhyay scored a goal each for India, while Kane Russell earned the lone goal for the host through a penalty. India had lost the tour opener on Tuesday. The third game will be played in Christchurch on Friday. The last game is slated for Sunday. Olympian boxer Jai Bhagwan has been placed under suspension on charges of accepting a bribe. Jai Bhagwan, who is posted as a police inspector in Hisar, is alleged to have accepted a bribe of 1 lakh rupees from 3 persons he arrested last month. BJP leader and former cricketer Navjot Singh Sidhu was admitted to a private hospital in Delhi on Tuesday. Sidhu is undergoing treatment for acute deep vein thrombosis. According to hospital authorities, Sidhu is recovering well. South American champions Chile will take on 5-time world champions Brazil on Thursday in the 2018 World Cup qualifier match. Brazil will play without Neymar, who has been suspended earlier. Neymar was banned for 4 matches after insulting Chilean referee Enrique Oces. Well, that's all from us. Goodbye.